One, today I want to talk about this Madlib show. Salutes to Madlib, because I love him. Never met him, but I love him. I love his creativity. And I've been wanting to go to, what's up, Soul Science Flow? I've been wanting to go to a Madlib show it's been forever, right? So my husband sends me this text talking about this Madlib show, and I'm like, oh, Madlib show, in my mind. So then I start reading. I'm like, $51? Wait a minute. I'm on my computer right now, guys. So he is touring. He'll be in New York. If you don't know, everybody should know who Madlib is. Like, the dope producer, the list goes on. He is up there with Dilla and a list of dope producers. But anyway, so Madlib is gonna be doing shows now. A lot of stuff is opening back up since COVID. So Madlib is gonna be doing a show in New York on Friday, October 8th. And let me tell you something. The ticket is $51.20. I'm like, wow. To me personally, Madlib is worth more than $51.20. But that is actually a good price comparing to, you hear all these major artists, and I like Drake, don't judge me. But all these artists out here, and they're charging $400 for tickets. So I'm like, but I love the fact that the show is not crazy expensive, but I believe Madlib deserves more. So yeah, he's gonna be in New York. That's crazy. I thought it would be more. Yes. So I was in shock because my husband sent me this, and I was like, $51.20. So we sliced. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Because I like to support the artists. Even though I've worked behind the scenes in music business, I will go out and buy music or whatever. I believe in that, because they need the support regardless. But then something told me to ask my husband, is there any restrictions? They are restrictions. Right? So he's going to be in New York, and they said, please note on this website, what's this? Dice FM. They said, please note that during this difficult time, our first priority is the safety of our community. Before buying your ticket and planning your visit, please be sure to read our COVID-19 policies. I said, uh-oh, here we go. Right? So I click on that. It was last updated June 2nd. I think they probably need to do a new update. It is June 24th right now. Right? This one broke my heart. And it has all these restrictions. It says, under the current CDC regulations, New York State now allows general admissions, music events of our size to take place, provided that the audience are fully vaccinated. I can hear Pete Rock in it. I don't even know Pete Rock, but he's been venting online. I can hear him in the back saying, like, what? Right? So then I want to get more details. And then they talk about this is a very big turning point for nightlife and NYC, and important steps on the path back to normalcy. Ain't nothing normal about this. Right? So then they have it highlighted in white. So it is with our gratitude that we announce that beginning June 10th, 2021, we will be clearing away our tables and chairs and inviting our community back to elsewhere for regular standing room events without social distancing and an optional mask policy. You hear that? Optional mask policy. So it says, in order to do so, we must temporarily operate all events with proof of vaccination required for entry. More information is provided below this message on what to expect when you arrive. I'm going to tell you guys, that hurt my little heart. It hurt my little heart. Because I'm not going to even tell you my personal goals as far as things that I have planned. Because I've did events, you know, and some epic ones at that. But I was like, is this what it's coming to down now? And yes, Soul Science Flow, I agree with you. No, I won't be going. Because I just feel like this is like you trying to control my life. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not into going to big shows. I like to go to private, intimate shows where it's not like tons of people, unless it's for certain artists. Certain artists you wouldn't mind, you know, like rest in peace, Michael Jackson, Prince. It's just certain people you be like, I'm there, you know. But like a Madlib show or like any of my favorite producers, dope underground artists, legend, well, Madlib is legendary. I like intimate shows, and he does intimate shows. But when I saw this, it just bothered me. I just kept thinking about it all day because me and my husband, we really wanted to go to this show. Really want to go to this show. And I'm just like, what's up? And I'm just like all disappointed by this. You know, and it's just, when you start reading the details of this on their website, you start questioning, like, what's really going on? You know, what's up? Bros love horror. Yeah, you start questioning really going on. Like, they're going to try to control you to go to a Madlib show, so you got to show a vaccination card. It's just crazy to me. But then they telling people you should wear masks. But think about it, guys. If you're vaccinated, why do you need a mask? But they're saying the mask is optional. For whatever reason, guys, I know this is not Madlib's doing. It's the venue, and they're going by regulations, which they said on the guideline. But it's alarming. You know? And then they're like, as the summer and fall unfold, and North Star on the COVID policy will remain New York State and NYC guidelines, and we will be keeping our audience up to date regularly if and when government restrictions lifted. Exactly. Why would it be even optional if you're fully? See, that's where you see all, excuse my French, this is where you see all the bullshit. Because it's like, you getting people out here, and I work in the medical field. I'm ashamed to say that sometimes. But I work in the medical field, and you see stuff like this, and you just like, what? I was like, wow. So they say all of that, and then they're like, finally, we ask for your patience and empathy with our staff as we get elsewhere back on its feet. I guess that's the venue. When we get into the nightlife, we never imagined our job would be including taking temperatures and checking vaccination cards. That point, they are right. They probably... But when you're reading this, you kind of figure out, okay, it's not really the venue, because they saying they wouldn't imagine. But if they don't do it, they won't have no business. But then it's a catch-22, because if people don't get vaccinated and say, you know what, you're infringing on my rights. They don't come. And then next thing you know, nobody is hardly there for Madlib show. I don't know if they think about this, but then somebody was saying on Facebook that they would, if you get tested negative, then that's a possibility you can say that. But apparently it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that on here. It's just saying vaccination card, and that is alarming to me. Very, very alarming. So in this sense, you won't see me at the Madlib show that me and my husband really wanted to go to. They're sticking to the government guidelines for liability purposes. Yes, but then you got to also think about it. Think about this. They're sticking to guidelines for liability purposes. However, guess what? What they're not telling you is that people who have got vaccinated are still getting sick. Or still getting COVID. You know, so it's like a catch-22. They're not going to say that. So just imagine, okay, everybody that gets vaccinated, show their card, they go there, and then boom, somebody gets sick. What they're going to say then? You still could be liable. You know, it's like we as a people have to use our common sense, and we have to stand up for our rights. And let me tell you, people ain't standing up for their rights. You have to unify and research. And sometimes I can't front and say I've researched everything, because I haven't. But certain things have to make sense. You pay attention to what you see. You know? Think about the flu vaccine. Was it all over the place? Was it... You know what was alarming? I was on a Long Island Railroad going to the city and coming back, and they had vaccinations in the train station. I was like, what? But it's harder for them to get sued if they follow mandated guidelines. If they were negligent, then it'd be... Yes, that is true. But they still could get sued. Think about it. You go to a Madlib show, you have a good time, and then next you know, everybody that went to the Madlib show was, God forbid, everybody went to the Madlib show is now have COVID-19, and they've been vaccinated. You know how crazy that would be? You'd be like, what? And then they'll be still alive because somebody gonna want to sue them. They'll be like, yo, you put my life in jeopardy, and I went and got this vaccine. But then you can't sue the pharmaceutical companies because they are protected. I don't know.